Hello there. Welcome to podcast number 41. It's my pleasure to be with you. I am Nadia Ramoutar, and today we are talking about not everyone will like you, and that is perfectly fine. If you've seen the book or you've seen the image with this podcast, it's a pineapple, and I refer to this as the pineapple principle. And this is because one time I was with a friend at lunch who I worked with, and she was very distraught. This was an adult grown woman who was really upset because someone had broken up with her, and she was very upset. And of course, she had every right to be upset because, number one, as an adult grown woman, you really hope not to have to be dating anybody. You'd hope to be settled and in a relationship and done with all that so you can go on with your life. But no. She's back there, out there dating, so she was distraught enough about that. But then to have someone who you really like just drop you without notice and hurt you and do that, it's just so devastating. And she and I were actually at an Indian buffet and we were eating, which of course is dangerous because when you're upset, you just keep eating. We like to say friends don't let friends eat upset because, that's not a good thing. So there we are, we're eating and she's upset. So I'm trying to let her talk. And I'm eating some fruit because I'm trying to be good, as is usual for me. Sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. And she's crying, she's upset. And I say to her, look at this pineapple. Do you like pineapple? And I hold up a piece of fruit on a fork. And she said, yes, I do. And I said, and I like pineapple. But do you know what? There's plenty of other people here at this buffet who don't like pineapple. They're not getting pineapple. They're not picking pineapple. They're picking other things. Maybe they're picking ice cream, or maybe they're not eating any fruit at all. Or maybe they picked melon, or maybe they picked berries, but they're not picking pineapple. Not everyone likes pineapple, and not everyone's going to like us. And it was in this moment that the pineapple principle was born. It was in this moment that I was able to articulate to someone who was struggling that her struggle, that someone no longer wanted to be her partner or didn't really like her enough to be her partner anymore, which is so upsetting and personal and devastating. There's just nothing we can do about what other people like and don't like. I don't know about you, but a lot of us as children were forced to eat foods. We were made to eat a food. Some of us would gag and throw up. It doesn't make you like something anymore to be forced to eat it. Same with people. There are things that you love, and there are things that they love, and there are things that they love about you, and there's things they don't like about you, and that's going to be how it is. You don't get to make choices for other people, and they don't get to make choices for you. So not everyone is going to like you, and that is perfectly fine. For example, I know people who don't like Oprah. This I find very difficult because, in my opinion, Oprah is someone who's incredibly talented. She's incredibly skilled. She's an amazing human being. She's done so much good for people around the world, specifically groups of girls in South Africa, and yet some people don't like her. So what are you going to do about that? You think of any famous artist, think of any architect, think of any building, think of any place, and someone somewhere doesn't like it. Think of your favorite food, the thing that you love more than anything else to eat. Someone hates it. Okay? So what we're trying to say here is that as you go forward and as you grow and as you become bigger and as you become more visible and as people know more about you and your work and what you do, here's something that's going to happen. As you increase your profile, you will become more of a target for people who don't like you. Now, we all know that there's little trolly people who are cowardly, who write mean stuff on the internet, who don't have the courage to say it to your face, but may say stuff about you. And if you know anybody who's in any way, shape, or form famous, you know that they've dealt with this. In fact, there's some really funny late night TV bits where they have celebrities read tweets or Facebook comments that people have written about them that are really mean and awful. And it sounds terrible, but it's kind of funny to see Julia Roberts reading something about how Julia Roberts is the ugliest woman alive. And when you see a famous person reading that, to a certain degree, it gives you a certain amount of relief to know that everybody is dealing with the likes and dislikes of other people. Sometimes it's because someone likes you too much, and that's a problem. But for the most part, I want you to understand that if you start to be truly authentic, people will not approve of it. If you start to be really yourself, if you awaken to all the aspects of you, as we've been talking about, there are going to be some people who will have a problem with that. So I am hereby now granting you permission not to be liked by everybody. I am hereby granting you permission to stop seeking approval from everyone. I am hereby granting you permission to no longer change yourself so someone will like you more. And I am as guilty as anybody. When I was younger, I thought that my job was to really get people to like me and then to continue to have them like me. And of course, that led to therapy. So the truth of the matter is, it's really important to understand that people have preferences, and that's all it is. People have preferences. Some people prefer blondes. Some people prefer brunettes. People prefer this. People prefer that. People have preferences. That's how people are. And there are going to be some damaged, weak people out there who, when you do really well, they will not like it and they will not like you because they are too insecure to handle it. They don't know how to do that. And some people are mentally ill or are dealing with instability, and they can't be happy, and they can't be happy for you because they can't be happy at all. So if there is someone in particular who doesn't like you in your life, and you can't do anything about it. And if there's someone you work with or someone you're related to or someone in your friend group and they just don't seem to like you, do yourself an enormous, huge favor and step back from them. All you can do is limit your contact with them, pull back from them, and get yourself to a space where you are emotionally safe to be you. You do not need to deal or be subjected to people who are mean or cruel or unkind or who don't like you. And don't try to confront them or don't try to change it. But if you get the sensation that someone doesn't like you, you need to ask yourself what that's about, because sometimes we're the ones being insecure and we're the ones creating stories in our head. So if someone doesn't like you, so what? A big 2 words, so what? And you know what's really hard is that you might be struggling because there's parts of you that you don't like. Like if you're unhappy with yourself and you don't like aspects of yourself, you may think that other people don't like you because you don't like you. Now this is super getting complicated and kind of out of my realm. But the truth of the matter is you've got to be careful that your own insecurities, your own hang-ups are not making you doubt yourself or question yourself or worry about yourself, okay? What you really need more than anything is to understand yourself and to understand who you are and what you are, and that's your business. The job of liking yourself is your job. It is your job to like yourself as much as you can. I'm sure if you've heard me speak before, you've heard me say this. One of the best pieces of advice I got when I was single was to make a list of the things I would like in another partner and to be the list myself. And this was genius advice for me because it totally took away the idea that I had to be a certain way so someone would like me, but that I should work on doing things so that I liked myself. And I think that is one of the most attractive things in the world, is to be around people who actually like themselves and who enjoy themselves and who get themselves. And yeah, if they make a mistake, they make a mistake. But they're okay with themselves, because it's so heavy to try and lift people up who don't feel good about themselves. And it's not our job. It's not something we can do. Security is an inside job. There's a very there is a very famous quote from Eleanor Roosevelt who said, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." And that is the absolute truth. If you feel insecure, if you feel inferior, the thing you need to do is to build yourself up from the inside out. Find something that you like about yourself and build on that. Focus on that. That is the key. Teeny tiny step. I like this about myself. Build that onto that. I like this about myself. Build onto that. I like this about myself. And that creates a scaffolding. And that is a scaffolding where you can grow and grow and scale and just blue sky. It's just infinite, the things that you can do. And what you want to do is to take your attention off of what's going on outside of you, off of what other people have to say and bring it in. The famous psychologist Carl Jung said, "He who looks outside dreams, he who looks within awakens." We're not out there looking at others, dreaming of what other people think of us or everybody approving us or liking us. It's about what we feel. It's about who we are. And you and I both know, we all know that popularity is an extremely fickle thing. Look at who was a big celebrity 5 years ago. Look at who's a big celebrity today. It doesn't even matter. What does matter is that you are perfectly fine with what you have, with who you are, and how things are going. And if someone doesn't like you, then do your best to dust yourself off and move on and be done with it. And don't keep going back to the wound. Don't keep hurting yourself. Don't keep upsetting yourself. Just put some distance between you and them and start focusing on that list of what you actually love and like about yourself and build from there. So that's been the Pineapple Principle message today. I hope this helps you in some way. The more brave you get, the more you do, the more creative you become. There's more of this to deal with. It's not easy. It's not hard. And I think everybody has to learn to cope with it somehow, or they're just going to stay extremely small. And we just don't want that for you. So it's been my pleasure to talk with you today. I hope you liked this. Just kidding. But if you didn't, that's okay too. So it's been a joy. It's always a joy to be here with you on the podcasts. And I just want to remind you that not everyone will like you. And that is perfectly fine, my friends. Take care.